What's going on, people? Trev2323 here. I'm going to show you how to do a marinade for a lechon. What we have here is a 25-pound leg of ham, a ham hock. Foot's already cut off. It's already cleaned and washed and everything. No seasoning, no nothing on it. What I'm planning on doing is I'm going to inject it and I'm going to go ahead and cook it for maybe 8 to 10 hours on the pit at about 225 degrees. I got a fillet knife here also because I am going to score the skin. If you've never done a pig before, the skin is really hard. It's even hard to try to inject sometimes. The injector I have is just one small injectors that I bought from Walmart. It's already rinsed out. You can pick them up from Walmart for like $5. But if you never injected a pig before, buy 2 of them or 3 of them because I guarantee, probably 2 of them because I guarantee you're probably going to break the tip. The skin is actually really hard, and so what I do is before I cook it, I score lines in it so you could get the skin off a little bit easier. People like eating the skin after it's really browned really good. So let me move this to the side right here. This is the pig that we're going to inject. If you see I got bleach here, it's because I wanted to let you know at the end you have to clean up everything really good. When you go to the butcher to get it, it's going to smell like blood if you go to a real butcher. This probably was killed actually just this morning. And then when you're done cleaning everything up, make sure you clean everything really good because I'm telling you that blood is going to stink if you don't. What I'm going to make the injection from myself when I do my injections is apple juice or apple cider vinegar. And I just use Grill Mates pork rub. I inject it with the pork rub and I rub the top of it with the pork rub. So for the injection that I use 2 to 3 cups of apple juice. See right there. Whatever's left over I just throw away anyway, so I use 2 to 3 cups of apple juice and about 3/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. A little bit more. Okay, now with this right here I go ahead and I mix in the Grill Mates. This is actually one of them I'm going to go ahead and rub on the outside, and then I'm going to put some of this on the inside to make like, it's not going to be a paste, but it is going to be pretty thick. This is to inject inside of the pig. Because I mean, I always feel, especially with a pig's thick skin, if you rub it just rub it on the outside, even if you let it sit, it really doesn't get it into the meat, infused with the meat. You don't want it super thick because it gotta actually be able to get into the injection. I think a little bit more apple juice. I'm going off of the smell. What I smell is actually what I'm going off of. You don't want the complete vinegar taste in there. Okay. I actually saved the bag that the actual pig came in because that's why I'm gonna wrap it back in the bag before I put it in. Like I said, this is a 25-pound ham hock right here. And then with this is the injection. Try not to hit the bone. Like I said, the skin is hard. The skin's really hard to get into, and I've broken plenty of tips before. You see, I mean, it took it right in. Some of it, you see some of it squirting right back out, but some of it's getting actually into the meat. And if you ask why I poke it with the knife, because like I said, this is the skin of the pig is actually very tough, and you could actually break a needle just by trying to pierce the skin with it. So if you go into kind of the same hole, you could kind of put the needle in different places around through the same hole to get different parts of the meat. pretty cool how you see it is swelling up a little bit. But that one right there, you see it squirt out right there. Oh, well, it blew up on me right there. Let me try another location here. Don't go straight into the bone. If you go straight into the bone, I guarantee you, you're gonna break the tip of your needle. And I've done this before. I've done a whole pig before, so that's why I know that it's to try to keep piercing the skin with this tip. You're definitely gonna break it if you try it that way. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit overnight. I'm gonna start the pig actually about maybe 6 in the morning. This is actually a small one. We've done a whole 70-pound pig before, and a 70-pound pig, I did it for about 10 hours. You don't put the heat directly under the pig. What I did is I put the heat. I got a 4x8 foot pit, and then so I put the coals. You already have to have them started. I actually start them in a wheelbarrow is where I start them at. And I start them in a wheelbarrow so they're nice and white, and then I throw them on the end of one side and the end of the other side and leave the meat in the middle of it so the meat's not directly on it. And towards the end is when I actually put the coals kind of right underneath the meat. Well, you see kind of how I'm injecting it right here. I'm going to pause the video right now, and then I'll go ahead and finish injecting it, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Alright? Like I said, well, before I finish, it's easier with the knife to kind of poke the skin, because you see how hard the skin is. It is easier with the knife to poke the skin before you put the injector in. Alright? Okay, I have it all injected. You see I still had some left here. With the injector, when you got the rub in there, after you inject it so many times and it's gonna feel like it's not gonna plunge, it's because right up in here it gets filled with some of the seasonings. So go ahead and take it off and get it all out of there. But I can't reiterate it enough to, with your injector, be careful, because these are really flimsy tips. So I always say the skin on a pig when you get it is really thick. So go ahead and just pierce this really small with a knife. Now tomorrow, I'm going to rub it right now, but this is the bag that the pig came in. I'm going to leave it inside the pan. Don't do it just on the table, because it's going to spill. It's going to be spilling out. You're not going to get 100% in there. It is going to spill out. So that's why I'm going to leave it in the pan, but I put it back in the plastic bag because I don't want the meat just sitting on the aluminum inside the pan. I've read somewhere before that's not good. So I'm going to leave it in the bag, but you got to have a pan underneath it to catch everything. It's going to sit for about 10 to 12 hours right now. I'm going to rub it down in the bag and then seal it up. And then in the morning time, when I take it out the bag, I'm not going to put it on the pit inside the tray. The actual tray is going to have a little bit of water in it and go all the way at the bottom of the pit under the ham to catch the drippings from the ham. The ham is fully seasoned. It's real juicy in there. It's going to sit there at 220 for 10 hours. It's not going to get dry. But then with the fillet knife, tomorrow, I'm going to line and put checkers in the skin. Because when you get a leg of lamb like this with the skin, I mean, this is going to be super tough when it gets hard. I mean, it's really thick skin, believe me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it with the fillet knife so people could break off the skin and eat the skin like that. But I'm not going to score it right now, you know, score it and put the rub in it right now, because it's really what's holding in the juices. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put some rub on this right now. Once I open one of these up, I don't save it for next time or anything like that. You have your hands all around the pig, all around the ham hock. Everything has to be really clean because you're going to get the bad smell of blood. And I don't want any secondary anything. So that's why once I open one of these up, I don't choose it again. So I'm going to rub the pig down with the rest of it. And then tomorrow, I have another one because after I score it, when I move it, if I feel some of it came off, which I probably won't, I may use the other one. But this one right here, I'm going to use what I can because the rest of this is just going to get thrown out because I don't cross-contaminate. So this right here, and this is actually what's on the inside of it also. This is how the hock is right here. This is how it's actually going to sit in the on the pit. It's going to sit just like this. The bottom part's going to be on the bottom, and this is the top part right here. This will sit overnight in the skin, so some of this will penetrate the skin and give the skin a good flavor, but this won't penetrate all the way through. That's why I inject the pig. Now other people brine the pigs. I tried brining a 70-pound pig. That was a pain in the ass. I injected and brined a 70-pound pig. You know, and like I said, that was too much of a pain in the ass. I wouldn't do a 70-pound pig anymore. I would do 2 smaller ones. Is probably what I'm going to do this summer. You're more than welcome to come by and try some out. Either way it goes, this is good to go. I'm going to wash my hands off, tie this up, tighten it up, and put in the refrigerator overnight. And don't forget, clean everything that you have. And if you feel like you touched anything, just get rid of it. The apple juice, $2. Don't cross-contaminate, just throw it out. You know, and make sure you clean everything down really good because the blood from the pig will smell. You'll be wondering, why the heck do I have flies or whatever? It's because when you're injecting a pig, it's going to squirt out. Stuff is going to squirt out. It's inevitable. So that's why I said you got to clean everything off really good. Alright? Well, I'm going to do another part to this video tomorrow when I take it out, score it, and get the pit ready. So you'll be able to see the pit tomorrow. Alright? Talk to you later. Bye.